the very challenging Chinese are on the unevens. Here is the second rotation within the rotation. Remember, that is not what they were at the end of the first rotation. At the end of the first rotation, the United States had that .088 difference over the USSR, and Spain was third. Zhang will be the first that we will see on the unevens for the Chinese. Amy Scher has already gone for the Americans of the floor exercise. Came with a 9.550. And this is the young 15-year-old from Shandong Province, Zhang.
And the Chinese placing in fourth after the first event is not indicative of their talent. That is a fairly weak event for them. This, however, is one of their strongest events.
And she is the strongest of the Chinese. She won the China Cup on this event, this uneven bar apparatus.
They have such beautiful lines on this event. Good swing, perfect form always. Watch the free swing. Nice high ginger. The back somersault with a half twist to regrasp the bar. Giant swing with a half turn. To a front giant, very well done, to a beautiful high Jaeger. The judges are really looking for extra amplitude on those release moves. Giant with a full pirouette. Into the dismount. A nice high, tuck double back. It's not one of the most difficult dismounts being done in the competition, but they do their dismounts level with the high bar.
That's what we said. Watch out for the Chinese young team. 15-year-old Zhang.
This is a great angle. You can really see the velocity on this swing. Look at the height above the bar. And perfect positioning for the regrasp. You can also see how far those bars are separated. It's a long jump from the low bar up to the high bar. Here comes. The last giant with a full pirouette. Which is a preparation giant right into a tuck double back dismount. You can see she finishes it at the level of the high bar. Very nicely done.
Nice smile, and why not? A 9.912.
They are really going to make a move on this event if the following two gymnasts hit their routines.
Well, the name you see there is correct. It is Lee. Her last name is Lee. Her first name is Lee. 15 years old, and like all the rest of them, very short. 4'7½". They're very young people, 68 pounds. And in an international event, she was first in this event this year.
Beautiful straight front giant. Giant reverse heck going the other way on the high bar. Watch this move. First time I've ever seen it. A German giant into a reverse heck. Very original and very difficult. And another high tuck double back dismount.
What a tremendous dismount. The Chinese are going to be in the top three for sure after this particular event. It is their best event, the uneven parallel bars. Beautiful
amplitude in that routine, and that one unique move in the middle of the routine, I'm sure, will probably bear the name Lili after this. Look at the nice body position. The reverse heck going the other direction, not as common. Now she sets up for this move, and this is unusual. A German giant, and right back over the bar to the reverse heck.
The officials, Kathy, are in dismay also with that great performance. They've not yet posted her score. Li, 15 years old. The Chinese men's team was a bunch of juniors who did rather well here, but the Chinese women, also youngsters and stars of the future, are doing very well, at least in this apparatus. The uneven parallel bars, here comes her score, 9.925 for Li of China. So with that in mind, here come the Chinese. They started out the second rotation in fourth place. We're sure they'll move up and we'll come back. Play when hurt. We told you about Kim Zmeskal. As you take a look at the standings at the end of the first rotation, we're in the second. We told you about her tendonitis. We told you about her bursitis. She got a 9.90 on the beam. And watched moments ago as she took the floor for the floor exercise. Talk about a gamer. All out the cliches because she deserves them all, Kathy.
This was about the best floor routine I've ever seen Kim do. Very, very powerful tumbling. You'll see it right here. Opens with a full twisting double back in pike position. Very European type music. Perfect double turn. These are all the tiny little things that the judges are looking at. You don't want to give away any deductions. 3 whip backs, right through to a double back, and a perfect landing. So this team really picks up with a lot of energy. Final tumbling run. Take a look at this landing. Again, right on the button.
And for that, she got a 9.937, bettering her mark, which we thought was incredible, on the balance beam. And you look ahead to tomorrow's all-around. But in the team standings with the second half of the second rotation yet to go, the USA holding on to a slight lead over China. The Soviets yet to compete in this rotation. Kim Zmeskal.
What is really important in this competition, the team competition, is that the United States is really doing very well. They had 4 excellent floor routines, all scoring 9.8 or 9.9. That was really the only deduction in the whole routine. Slightly large step after that first tumbling run. It's a really nice tumbling run.
If you didn't know the name before, there she is, Kim Zmeskal of Houston, Texas. And let's join one of our anchors of the IBC that has come out here to Tacoma with us. And let's go to Hannah Storm in our own building, Hannah.
Well, Kim Zmeskal told us, Jim, that the floor exercise is her favorite, and I think you can see why. She was absolutely terrific, has been the USA's most solid performer to date. Sandy Woolsey, also a solid performance on the floor. She rebounded from her fall off the dismount when she was on the bars, when she was on the balance beam. And Betty Aquino is an interesting story. She's displayed great grace. She has beautiful body line. She's been absolutely terrific in what is really her international debut. So solid performance all around from the U.S. gymnast. And assistant coach Stormy Eaton has just told me the American ladies have the vault coming up. That could be their strongest apparatus overall. They are all doing the same vault. Jim?
All right, Anna, and we will tell you that Oksana Chusovitina of the Soviet Union, the first on the beam for the Soviet Union, fell. So this story is not over yet. We'll come back in a moment. As we left you, we told you that Oksana Chusovitina fell for the Soviet Union on the balance beam, and let's go back in time to see the Soviets with more problems.
It was on a round-off layout step out. She's fairly new to the Soviet team, and I think just showing a little immaturity, lack of experience. But more importantly, this is a critical situation now the Soviet Union finds themselves in. Very much a pressure situation. In order to catch the United States, to tie with them at this point, they would have to average a 9.916.
Kathy, when was the last time the Soviets trailed in a team competition? Are you aware of any time?
I only know of one time they ever lost a major championship, and it was to Romania. And it's very unusual for them to not have the lead throughout an entire competition.
That, as I recall, was in 1987. And Romania is in disarray, as we said, as they came on the air because, well, they're closing down a lot of training centers. Financially, they couldn't send a whole team. But there's Chusovitina, 15 years old, from Tashkent, and she fell and got that 9.337.
Very unfortunate, as I said, for the Soviet Union. They had a fall on the uneven bars. Of course, they were able to drop that score. Now they're looking to drop this score, and not only drop it, but score 9-9 from here on out, which is not impossible for this team, by the way.
Not impossible for them, but there's added pressure because they've seldom, well, this team has never been in that situation, these youngsters.
This is a tough event to have added pressure to. Here's where the problem was. The roundup was off to the side. And you could just see a little bit of lack of aggressiveness for that landing.
United States, this is after one rotation. Remember, China is moving up. Soviet Union, as Kathy said, has to average a 9.90 to catch up. The time